I'm Adam Johnson. My wife and I have grown our real estate business from nothing into the millions, and now my life's purpose is to show you how we did it so that you can do the same. Starting this month, I'm uploading a ton of free and very helpful videos that will be your step-by-step guide to starting an Airbnb business utilizing our go-to property acquisition technique called Subject to. Follow along these course videos, take notes, and dive into the exciting, challenging, yet very rewarding world of real estate investing with me, Adam Johnson. Enjoy.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Adam Johnson. Now we'll get ready to get into some bonus content, which is automating your systems and how to use a channel manager. What is a channel manager? We'll talk about how to streamline your processes. As I said in the previous module, I'm all about streamlining and automating everything we do. I want your business to work without you, just like our business works without us. So let's get right into it. What we're going to talk about today is what is a channel manager? How do we use ours? Which one do we use? What do we think of it? What's our history? All those little details. We'll talk about guidebooks and house manuals. These are little tools that can help set expectations for your guests instead of them having to, message you 1,000 times, asking all these little details that you have in your guidebook. We'll talk about automated messaging. We use smartbnb.io. We'll talk about that system, how it has revolutionized what we do. And again, it helps set expectations for our guests. And we'll talk about proactively addressing frequently asked questions, because the questions are going to come. So why not be on top of those questions and answer them before your guest even has a chance to ask them? It goes a long way in looking professional in what you do. So what is a channel manager? You've heard me talk the entire course about Airbnb, VRBO. There's many other platforms, Travelocity, Expedia, Booking.com, so many other ones that are available out there. What a channel manager is, it's more like the hub, the brain, and it talks to the other platforms. So think about this. It's one website that talks to VRBO, Airbnb, host, or Booking.com, all those different ones. But you only have to deal with one platform, one website. We use hostfully.com, HOSTFULLY.com. It's been phenomenal. We've been using it for about two and a half years. And what it does is it allows us to work directly with the customer as opposed to them working through Airbnb or VRBO. Now, the problem that we have when a customer works through those other platforms is that customer is not our customer. That customer is VRBO or Airbnb's customer. And in saying that, Airbnb controls the entire process to include the transaction. So down the road, if you have to make a claim because an Airbnb guest broke something, you have to go through Airbnb to hopefully get reimbursed. And I would not hold my breath on that if that ever is the case. So by having a channel manager or a direct booking website that can talk to the other platforms, you have one centralized input, one centralized website that talks to the rest of them. So what used to happen before we had Hostly.com, we had 17 Airbnbs at the time. And any change I did on Airbnb, I had to do on VRBO as well. So I always had to do double the work. And then we got our hostfully.com as our direct booking site, but we weren't using it to manage the other sites yet. So I had 3 platforms. I had Hostfully, my direct site, Airbnb, and VRBO. Every time I had to make a correction, I had to go through all individual properties on all 3 individual websites. And oh my goodness, it would take me an hour and a half to update check-in time, for example, or something like that. So with having a channel manager, it's the brain that talks to the other little websites below it, and it does everything. So I go to Hostfully, I can upload my pictures, I can update any information about the listings, my rental agreement, anything. I do all that in one location. And now that we're branching out and using many other platforms that I don't even want to discuss right now, Hostfully talks to all of those. So we're listed I think on 30 something websites, and I only deal with one website, and that's hostfully.com, or my channel manager. There are many channel managers out there. I can't speak on any of the other ones. I've never used any of them. There's owner res. There's lots of them, guys. You can Google channel manager for short-term listings. All I can talk about is what I have experience with, and I absolutely love Hostfully. It's not perfect. They're only a few years old, so they're still working a few kinks out here and there, but it is an all-encompassing website. From that site, as I said before, I can do my channel managing, but also as a guest that wants to book with me directly, they can go to my website, see all 22 of our properties, and also they can reserve, make the payment, upload any information right then and there instead of having to go through me directly when everything is already there. So we use Hostfully. I recommend looking into it. At a minimum, I should have said this a couple courses ago. At a minimum, I do not recommend having your property, even one of them, listed only on Airbnb. You want to spread your property on other platforms to get more eyes on the property, okay? If you're only on Airbnb, you have a single point of failure is what I call it. You have a single point of failure, so that means Airbnb at their discretion can block your schedule, block your calendar, take your listing off, allow someone in your house with 5 service animals, wherever the case may be. You don't control the transaction. You don't control hardly anything. You're simply a vessel that Airbnb is using and profiting off of, but you're taking all the risks. So direct bookings is where it's at. I preach it. I wish more and more people are doing direct bookings to protect their properties, to control the transaction, to have direct access with their client, and also just protect their properties. So that's what a channel manager is it one single, it's the brain hub that talks to everybody else, all the other platforms. Now, Guidebooks. Guidebooks is exactly what you think it would be. It's a book, a digital book, and also Hostfully has this capability as well to put everything that you want your guests to know about the location, the surrounding areas, the dog parks, the great restaurants, the racetrack, the hot air balloon, like whatever you have in your area, all the high points, you can put into your guidebook. If you live close to an NBA team, you can talk about the season and whatever the case may be. It's your property, it's your listing. You want to make it unique. You want your guidebook to be unique for what you're offering. So our guidebook has a lot of stuff about Clarksville, a lot of stuff about Fort Campbell military base, all that kind of stuff. We also have instructional information about the thermostat, the door lock systems, all those types of things. Special occurrences I have on the screen. For example, where we live near the military base, in the summertime, occasionally we'll have helicopters. Chinook helicopters will be conducting their flight hours for the military, for military purposes. So families get to see military aircraft, and it's an exciting thing when they're bringing children to get to see the military aircraft. So your guidebook is for your property. You want to make it as unique as possible to highlight all the high points in your area, in your home. What are some of the things that are coming to your area? If every summer the fair comes around, I don't know, whatever the case may be, that's what that guidebook is for you to set expectations for your arriving guests, so they know when they get there what is available. It's terrible for a guest, in my opinion, to show up, know nothing about the area. All right. So for example, in our guidebook, we have the dog parks because we are pet friendly, and probably 65%, I think I ran the numbers, of our guests have pets. So knowing where the dog parks are and the pet food supply places are and those kinds of things, are the guests, they're very appreciative that we offer that information instead of them having to look for it or Google it or whatever the case may be. So guidebooks are very beneficial if and when your guests actually read through them and look at everything. Another thing that we use that I want to impress upon everyone is automated messaging, okay? Airbnb does have this capability, but at like a 10%, not even 10, at like 3% capable of what other specific software can do. So we use smartbnb.io, SMARTBNB.io. And what it does is we have all of our scheduled messaging. So what we have is, when a person books, they get a specific message, all right? And it kind of goes over some of the highlights of our house rules. It talks about some of the area and also gives that guidebook link. as I just talked about on the previous slide, that guidebook link of all the stuff that they can expect at the property or in the surrounding area and that kind of stuff. So that automated messaging, as soon as you book with us, you're going to get that, bam, you're going to get that what's in the house, what's in the area, pictures, all that kind of stuff that they should have seen before, but some people don't read everything in the listing information. But when they get that message, it says click here to view more information about the area, they're more inclined to use those links and that kind of stuff. Plus it goes to their phone. Again, people more likely to respond to an alert than they are anything else. You also want to include in your automated messaging the key points, the check-in, check-out times, your pet policy. Because our home is pet friendly and because I have 2 pet max all over the listing information, still people don't read that. So they'll book my home and they'll have 3 or 4 pets and they'll say, oh, I didn't know. But part of the instant messaging is, if you're bringing pets, let us know, here's our policy. And that way we can catch it up front early on. We can either charge an additional deposit if we feel like that, or we can just cancel the reservation because you've already broken one of the house rules by having more pets than we accept. So that's why you want to have that automated messaging in there. We also, in our automated messaging, we cover the additional guest policy, again, because people didn't read the house rules. So we've had so many people book and instantly say, oh, but I was going to have a little birthday party for my 4-year-old niece. Well, not in my house, you're not, because it's in the house rules. So we caught that up front. We can cancel, or they can still stay with us and just go to somebody else's house to have a little party. But that instant messaging and having those guidebooks and having the special instructions, how to use the door code. So in our automated messaging, I have a YouTube link of me showing the guest how to use a door code. Like, take the 5 digits, press it in, press the red button, the house opens. You have some people that are less technologically advanced or technologically capable, I guess. So having those videos really helps some people. It really does. So you cannot overdo it when it comes to setting your guests up for success and managing expectations before they arrive at your house. You do not want people to arrive at your house and then have 1,000 questions that could have been answered prior to arrival. And they could have been automatically answered as well. You didn't have to, go back and forth with 1,000 text messages between yourself and the guest, or the guest and your assistant. Automation is key. So automate it. So guys, I'm kind of saddened. That was the last little slide. I'm gonna take a minute here to just talk to y'all, try to blow this up. I don't know, talk to you guys direct. We've been running our business for 5 years on Airbnb. We've had a real estate business for 7 years. Before Airbnb, we just dealt with traditional rental properties. We didn't know we were going to be Airbnb hosts. That was never our plan. Our story goes that we had a small home, little 3-bedroom, 2-bath. We had a lady that was had already put down a $500 deposit, non-refundable, to move in the next day. For whatever reason, the morning that she's supposed to move in, she called us and said she's not moving in. She lived in Nashville, which is an hour away. Don't know the reason, didn't give us a reason. At that time, we'd only experienced Airbnb one time. I think about a month prior to that, we were traveling. Our travel plans got messed up. My wife had heard about Airbnb because she worked in Nashville. We stayed at one, thought nothing of it. This was 2016 or 17, thought nothing of it. That was a pretty cool idea, great concept. Fast forward to the day that the new tenant did not check into our property. It's a little 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. The mortgage was like $497 a month, very low. And my wife said, let's just try Airbnb out. And because it was such a low expense for that property, I thought, sure, why not? I said, we'll give it a month. And if it doesn't work out in a month, we'll go back to just traditional renting. I told you before, it took us 2 weeks to furnish that property. We know what we were doing. We made all of our mistakes up front. And lo and behold, as soon as we put it on the Airbnb website, we got a guest. I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody wants to stay in our little house. It never stopped from that point forward. From that minute forward, we have never not had guests. We've never had a fear, except for when COVID happened in 2020. Now, that's a different video I have on YouTube. But we never had an issue getting guests, ever, never, ever. Last year, 2020, even with COVID, was our best year. 2021 was better than that. And now here we are in 2022, and things are looking fantastic for us moving forward. I say that to say this. In your business, you may not have a plan. You may have a plan for where you want to go, but things are going to happen. You're going to have to go down a different little rabbit hole. I always say follow success. If I had not followed this Airbnb trail, wouldn't be where we are today. You know, I told you the money we made last year and how things are just continually improving, and we're continually putting money back into the houses, and we're free. We're financially free. We don't ever have to work again. I like what we do. Follow success. Take your bumps and bruises. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have bad guests. You're gonna undervalue your house sometimes. You're gonna overprice your house sometimes. You're gonna make mistakes over and over. Nothing wrong with that, guys. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. What makes a good business owner, a great business owner, is being adaptable and overcoming the hardships. You're gonna have hardships. You're gonna have problems with Airbnb. You're gonna have problems with your website. You're gonna have problems with your messaging. Your handyman's not going to show up. The HVAC is going to go out in the middle of the winter. Things are going to happen. All right. Be flexible. Be ready to act. Put money to the side for those issues. And just know that, as I said many, many times, no one's going to care as much as you. So you are the end all. It's your business. It's your property. It's your guests. It's your risk. So give 110%. It's as simple as that. In my business, we don't do excuses. If there's ever an issue, we take care of it. And you have to have that mentality. You never, ever, ever, push blame on other people. You as the business owner, it's always your fault. All right. If you're excited to take the praise when things go great, you also have to be ready to take the boos and the problems when things go bad. All right. The responsibility. So my team knows that when we do great, we did great. When things go bad, it's my fault because I didn't catch it, or I didn't put something in place to minimize that issue. It's my fault when things go bad. When things go great, my team did amazing. When things go bad, it's my fault. And I learned that in Special Forces. I learned that in the Army. And I had a successful Army career, and we're doing pretty damn good in business as well. So guys, I hope you got a lot from this course. I'm so proud that we're in the position we are in to be able to help people work towards that passive income and at the end goal to reach financial freedom. Please go out there and grind, hustle, make it happen. No one's going to care as much as you. And at the end of the day, it's your fault. Good or bad, it's your fault. So guys, go start that business. Go get those houses. Get your desired client, and always continue to improve what you do. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you for watching. If you got lots of value from our free content, you're going to love the one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and seminars that we offer on our website at reisimplified.co. We look forward to guiding you through the early steps of building your business, buying real estate, and working towards financial freedom. Let's go buy some houses.